Hi everyone, Nigel here again from NigelShot.com. So it's been a while since the last updated you guys and girls, and I'm sorry for that because it's been a really interesting time as we shifted house. As you can see, I'm talking in a different place, and we'll be experimenting with a different layout in the house. So that took out a bit more time than I thought. So today's video I want to share with you is one of my personal favorites. It says small tests leads to more results and success that you want. So you see, all of us want to be more successful. I mean, you want to be more successful. I want to be more successful, right? So if I poll and survey or ask 100 people today, do you want to wake up earlier? Do you want to have a better relationship? Do you want to work out more? Do you want to make more money? Right? I would assure you that all 100 of us will say yes. I would say yes, right? So can you imagine that if you could double your productivity at work, or that if you at a bar or you're in a new place and you could just walk up to anyone and talk to them, and then you could just connect like friends, right? And how cool would that be? I want to share with you that anything that you want to achieve, right? Anything you want to succeed in, most of them are possible, and there are a few tested ways to do them, even though you're just starting out, or even though you're not an expert, right? And so, welcome to the world of small tests and refining. So, I like testing, and I test many things on a small scale first before I put in more resources or put in more effort. I'll give you two quick examples. I test too many things, but I give you the simpler one, right? So, two examples are how I make sure I go to the gym twice a week and how I never miss flossing my teeth. You know, Before I get to the example, I just share that you can use the testing approach to improve your success rate in virtually anything. Okay. And the process of it is basically doing a miniature version of it, of the activity on a smaller scale of 1 to is to 10 or 1 is to 5, and do a trial run of the new process, the new activity, at least 2 or 3 times, and then once you find out the one the process that works the best for you, flows the best for you, you can keep it or refine it from there. So you remember the two examples I gave you just now? The two examples are how I make sure I hit the gym twice a week. It just close my eyes, I will end up in the gym twice a week, no matter what happens. So before that happens, it all starts before I even sign up to the gym. Okay, I tell you, first I'll check out the gym, make sure okay, the equipment's got to be the stuff that I use, right? No point going to the gym that I don't like the equipment. And then secondly, I'll check the price. So if the equipment are good, or at least what I use, then the price is within my price range. The next and most important factor is to decide or to see how going to the gym is part of my flow. I use flow quite a bit, part of my travel and calendar flow. So I will take a look at my calendar, take a look at the location of the gym, right? And then I see what activities will I be doing at that time, so that after the activity I can head to the gym immediately. It's just like a combo move, right? Um, so I went for a few gyms to see which was the best. And then once I streamlined the gym that I wanted based on the equipment and the price and the location, so I said, okay, you give me a trial run. I want to have one free session. So they say, okay, sure, just go for it. So I had the trial run to see how the flow would be like. So for me is that I would drop my kids off first in the morning, and then I'll just take a bus down. It's not that far away, it's maybe 15-20 minutes. So it's in the vicinity. So I will just head up there and and then when I work out, see how's the programs were like, the equipment were like, even the washrooms and bathrooms were like, right? And then after I finish my workout, I would head to my next location, and I do this 3 times, to see how the flow will be like from my home to the kids' school to the gym, and to the gym to our place, and vice versa. And then when I'm convinced that this gym is within my flow, it will go into my calendar. It's easy. I just sign on the dotted line, became a member for a year. That's done. You know, and that's how I end up in gym at least twice a week, every single week. Close eyes. And then the next one was one of my fun ones. How I never miss flossing my teeth. I am. It's not very fun to talk about, but it's actually quite interesting because I never realized I had a flossing issue until my dentist told me that I need to start flossing. Yeah, I know, right? I think because I grew up, we didn't really floss. I know how it happened, and this is after I got married. So I tried a few different processes to see how I'll get this habit to stick, get this activity to stick. So I first tried by going to floss my teeth after dinner. But if I felt awkward, when you finish your dinner, you finish your meal, at the end of the day, you just go to the bathroom, floss your teeth, and then you come out. It not only feels awkward, but sometimes, after dinner, I might want to munch on something. I just grab a snack. I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to floss again. So that didn't quite work out for me. And then, so flossing after dinner didn't quite work out. So secondly, I tried to floss before bedtime. So I would just say, okay, I'm just going to do my stuff, and I need to floss at the end of the day when I hit the sack when I go to bed. And then what happens is that when I get to flossing time, I will start, my brain will just start messing with me. Yeah, I just floss tomorrow. I no need, not so important. And I would, because I'm so tired, I'm making a dumb decision. It's not a big one, it's small. And then I just get up falling asleep. Then I realize after a week of trying it out, it's not working. I'm not flossing, right? And third time's the charm. So I thought about it more, then I trying to piece the flow of what I do. So I know that at the end of the day, I will need to eat my dinner, I will need to shower, I will need to sleep, right? I will need to floss. So why not do a combo move again? So usually I'm using the word combo a lot. It's to smoothen the process. So if I know that at the end of the day, I will definitely hit the set, hit the bed and fall asleep. So that's my last activity for the day. So assuming the activity before that would then be, say, to shower, because I will shower, then I will sleep. Then therefore it makes sense also to either floss teeth before, after showering, but sorry, correct, before showering, but and after dinner, right? So then I start doing a combo. Eat, no, ignore dinner, end of the day, floss, shower, sleep. And that's it, just work. And right now, naturally, at the end of the day, when I go to shower, at the end of the day, I just take the flosses. I'm like, what am I doing with the floss? Oh yeah, I need to floss my teeth. And it just works. And I've used this small testing approach to virtually anything new to me, anything novel, right? That I want to try, I want to implement. You know, it doesn't make sense for me to blow a big budget or a lot of time on something new. If let's say a new investment opportunity pops up and they say, "Oh, Nigel, you got to put in 100,000." I'm like, no. How about 1,000? Let me see whether it works first. Or how about 100? Let me see what kind of returns I can expect by testing it out. Rather than just here take whole 100,000 and there goes. Because you see, if I test on 100,000, you must know that there's risk. So if you test on 100,000, you risk losing 100,000. It's big for me. Small test allows me to try on a small scale, on a small budget, small effort, small risk, right? To confirm that if there's a higher chance of it working. So if let's say a marketing company come to me and say, Nigel, why don't you park 100,000 with us and we'll promise you that we will market for you and give you 500,000. So I'm like, okay, so if $100,000 for marketing budget leads to 500,000, therefore it's 1:5. How about I pass you $1,000 first, you show me you make 5,000 for me back. First trial run, 1,000, you made me 5,000, great. Second trial run, let's do 5,000. I give you 5,000, make me 15,000, great. Then I'll slowly inch my way up, which makes sense to me. I'm not going to just bulk in everything. I got to test. And this approach is not always about money. Sometimes it's about using less time and less resources. Say, for example, if I'm not very fit, and if I'm not very fit, and first time I signed up for gym, I knew I haven't gone to gym for 2 years. I won't go do 2 hours of gym. I stopped exercising, I stopped lifting weights on the first day after 30, 35 minutes because I know my body wasn't acclimatized to it. So instead of right now, I'm doing about 1.5 to 2 hours each time, I did 30 minutes, 35 minutes, which is about 25% of my usual exercise right now. So I would just want to test it out, and the next day my body ached like mad. I think if I do an hour or two, I would just probably be half dead the next day. So it's not always got to do with money. It's got to do with your, expectation and time as well. Or let's say somebody invite you to go for a hike, and he say, okay, this hike is a simple one, 6 hours. Now, if you have never hiked before, 6 hours can be brutal. Depending on the intensity of how steep it downwards and upwards, how humid, how hot, how there's a lot of variables. So instead of committing a 2 hour hike for the first time, I will try a hike for, let's say, 20, 30 minutes to see how it goes. Likewise, to as we move to this place, right? Instead of us immediately buying a new house and then selling our old one, we're renting first to try things out, see whether we like the area. Do we like, moving from a public flat to a condominium, which is a private property? We're just trying things out. And the reason why, as I shared earlier, why I like this approach of trying, testing small scale, is because it's low cost and low risk in terms of effort. But it gives me data that I can use to make decisions that can be potentially life changing or business growth kind of like changes, right? Without having high risk, you know, and that's why I like small tests. They give you data and clarity. So that's for me today about small tests can lead to more results and more success that you want, and that I've been using this approach. How about you? How will you try this kind of small test approach? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks. Bye.